Step number 19, one of the final steps to creating a baseline schedule, is to review the scheduling log. And basically what I'm asking you to do there is to review all the columns that should be shown for the baseline schedule approval. Now we can see we have task name there, okay, duration. You could have man days in there if you chose to use man days or not, but in this case we didn't. Well, early start, early finish, late start, late finish, actual start, actual finish, total slack, which is also total float, cost, percent billing, and actual cost. These are the columns that should be shown in the schedule. By showing these in the baseline schedule, you're able to provide the reviewer the information they need. Sometimes the reviewer will request you add the predecessor column and the successor column. And so we can quickly review the schedule. It's not a problem to provide those. If they are doing a review of the schedule and they don't have Microsoft Project to do a review, it's important for you to show these columns because they have no idea logic-wise how the schedule shakes out. So if they have Microsoft Project, they can open it and they can simply look at the predecessor logic within the software. But if the owner or the government doesn't have that capability, it's important to show those columns. A few last notes here to do to kind of clean up the schedule before you submit. These are personal preferences, but they're good practices. The first one is go to bar style and make sure, and you can see that you have next to all of the different bars, we have the names. So next to the summary task, next to the bars, the regular bars and the critical path bars, that we have the task name. So you can see here it says 50% plan review. It's a good practice to do that. By default it has resource name here. We want to make sure we have name next to every single one. Summary task. This one milestone has the finish date. We want to go ahead and put name in there. So we want to do that for pretty much everything, all the individual bars that are shown in our Gantt chart view here. The second thing that I would do is turn the bars, go back to the bars, turn the bars, the regular task bars, to green. And this is just, as you can see, as we go through and we do the actuals, the actual bars are blue also, and it kind of creates some confusion. So I like using green because it prevents that confusion. Just go ahead and hit OK, and you can see all the bars that are not critical path turn green. The other thing I like doing is I like turning off the predecessor lines, predecessor and successor lines. That just helps me because you can't really tell the logic here based on the lines. So once again, it's a preference. If you want to look at the logic, you really have to look at the columns or look at the network diagram. So hit OK. And to me, that makes is a lot more visible, a lot more readable, I should say. And then the last thing that I would do is go view, sort by start date, and that creates the cascading effect from left to right. You're able to review, present the schedule. It's important that every one of these summary tasks are open. So when we go to our last step, which is running the reports, everything is open and everything is visible. Also, we want to make sure our line is not right up, not way out here, but not on top of a cell there, because the software has a tendency to kind of overlap the last cell. So we want to create a little bit of a gap, leave a little bit of gap in there, so when we do the reports, we can see all these columns. So that's what it's doing, is we want to present it in a manner that is easy to read, it's clear, it gives the information to the end user. Those columns are what I would suggest to have inclusive, and that's what a reviewer would need in order to do a proper review of the schedule. So that pretty much covers step number 19, reviewing the schedule log.